going to be talking about coochies. You should not be sitting in blood. You should be changing your tampon or your pad often. It's your vagina, like, you know, take care of her. It's something about the word coochie that just really turns me on. Your pH balance messed up now when you don't have your period, now you stink. Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be having a feminine hygiene talk, all of that good stuff, okay? If you are a male watching this video, I recommend that you stay tuned. If you have a daughter, a wife, a girlfriend, something of that sort, someone that you're just dealing with, whatever it is, stay tuned. You never know what knowledge I can give you today that you don't already know, that you could pass on to someone else, okay? Disclaimer right now, I am not a doctor, I am not a medical person, I am not any of that. I got all of this information by either research, personal experience, or friends' stories. I cannot give you any like professional medical advice. I am literally telling you things that I've known to work on me or on someone else. Okay, so let's start this video. I think the first topic that I'm going to touch on is going to be your menstrual cycle, period, that time of the month. Let's start it off. If you are younger and you are just getting your period, I just want you to know that this is normal. Your period is normal. Different scents and different stuff like that is normal. If you do have a scent to your period, that means that's just like your inner lining along with the iron from your body just mixing, and that's why it might have like a metallic scent, but that does not mean that you have any type of infection. If you do have another type of scent, maybe fishy or something a little bit more unnormal to you or a little bit more stronger, I do recommend that you go to a gynecologist or some type of doctor to get that looked at. And yes, y'all, I'm looking at my notes, like I really wrote, I got notes for y'all today. Okay, so when it comes to pads and tampons, I'm personally not one to actually like to wear tampons. I just don't feel like, unless I really have to, like if I'm being active or if I really have to go out and do something, then I might put in a tampon. But other than that, I do not like wearing tampons. It's just not my type of thing. I rather let my flow come out. I feel like this little strip of, this little piece of cotton or whatever it is not really catching on that blood. I feel like it's really just clogging it up, and that's the reason I personally do not like wearing tampons. And a lot of people do not like pads because they don't feel like they need to sit in blood, but that's where the problem sounds like it's at. You should not be sitting in blood. You should be changing your tampon or your pad often. Also, I also recommend using 100% cotton or some type of organic pads or tampons. It's your vagina, like, you know, take care of her. The pads that I use this is the ones that I've been using recently. If y'all haven't heard about Honey Pot, this is a black owned product. This is the super herbal infused pads with wings, a minting cool, lavender calming, soothing aloe. Do not use pads or tampons with scent. Any type of scented tampons and pads, throw it out the window because that is not good for your coochie. It's something about the word coochie that just really turns me on. Scented pads and scented tampons can throw off your pH balance, and that's not what you want. Although that scented stuff, the things that they use to put the scent into the pad or the tampon, can really mess up your pH balance, and you don't want to be out here trying to smell good for a second and then your pH balance messed up now when you don't have your period. Now you stink. Now you're smelling a little funky. Let's refrain from using scented pads and scented tampons. When you change your pad or when you change your tampon, you want to make sure you use something to clean up. I'd recommend using wet wipes. Anytime I have my period and I'm going out, I do pack up a couple of wet wipes or some type of baby wipes or something just to make sure I have something to clean myself with when it is time to change my pad or my tampon. These are the wipes I've been using for a while now. I found these in Target around the same time that I started using Honey Pot. I started using these. Other than that, I just use regular baby wipes. These are called Down There wipes, pH balance, rose water, vitamin E, and aloe. So that's really good. It's also very soothing. It's little packets, you know, just throw like 1 or 2 of these in my bag and I'm good to go. I also recommend using these if you after having sex or any type of intercourse. Even after, you know, you use the bathroom, you can use those like some type of wipes or something. You just want to make sure you clean your area. When you are cleaning your area, you want to make sure you wipe from front to back. Okay, y'all, front to back. Like this is a big thing for women, because you don't want to get any of the bacteria from your back to your front. So why would you? It's just so much that goes into being a woman. It's ridiculous. Your booty hole can't get an infection, or can it? I don't think so. When you wipe from back to front, you can cause bacteria from your booty to go into your vagina, and that can cause a whole bunch of different infections like BV, yeast, UTIs as well. Like that is another big thing. I think that's very common, as well as yeast. Yeast is also very common, and BV. All 3 of those infections are very common for women. Is if you just are starting your period, or if you know you're about to get your period, your pH balance might be thrown off before you get your period, and that is also very normal. Like your hormones in your body is changing, which might cause your pH balance to change as well. But it is very common for a woman's pH balance to change after or before she gets her period, and sometimes even after she gets her period. We're going to prevent that by taking care of ourselves while we're on our period, right? Your vagina cleans itself. Anytime you get discharged, it's literally pushing out all the stuff that is not needed in your body, that your body doesn't really want, and all that other stuff. That's it cleaning itself. You do not need to go in there and use soap and put soap inside your vagina. You want to just bend over in the shower and let the water just run. Cup your hand with the water and use that to clean your vagina. Or bend over in the shower and let the water run through your area, okay? Do not put soap in your vagina. That will also cause your pH balance to be messed up. Make sure you are changing your wash towels and washing your wash towels. If you do use a wash rag or a sponge, I actually use a sponge when I'm showering. Make sure you're changing them out often and putting them into the washing machine and washing them. The wash rags do hold a lot of bacteria in it, so you want to make sure you're changing it and getting new ones and constantly changing them. Use mild soap products. This is also a very big one. What you use could be good or it can be bad. Dove soap is a good soap. There's also an Olay soap that I like to use. That is a mild soap. But the most common soap that I use is my Dr. Bronner's soap. Unless it's like I'm on a trip and I forgot to bring my body wash, I'll just go get some Dove soap or something like that. But majority of the time I am using Dr. Bronner's. I use either the peppermint one or the rose one. This right here is the soap that I use. This is the rose one. The peppermint one is also my favorite, but some people think it makes you feel like real icy, and I personally like that. It's made with organic oils. This soap is pretty expensive. Like I think this bottle alone was $15. I'd much rather pay $7 for a bottle of Dove than $15, but honestly, this is my favorite soap, so I'm gonna buy it anyways. Soaps like Irish Spring, Men's Body Wash, Old Spice, you know, things like that, like let's say you're at your boyfriend's house and that's all he has. Girl, do not put it on your coochie. Don't do it. Don't do it. That can really mess up your pH balance, and what we're trying to do here is make sure your pH balance is put together. You don't want any odors, you don't want any itching, weird discharge or anything like that. Your vagina is very sensitive, so take care of it. The feminine wash that I use, of course, is the Honey Pot. This is the normal foaming wash. It has no parabens, no dioxides. I don't even know what that is. It's plant-based and it's 100% natural. The pH balance on this is 3.5 to 4.5. I don't know, but this also is very well. It has lavender, vinegar, and coconut. And I just take about 3 pumps and I use my hands and I just wipe clean with this. But these are the two soaps that I do recommend. You don't want any scents. These have worked very well for me and I personally enjoy them. Make sure you're wearing cotton underwear, or if you're not wearing cotton underwear and you do wear silk or lace panties, make sure it has a cotton liner, like right here. Not very recommended, but these are a pair of lace thongs. Okay, these are a pair of lace thongs, but these thongs do have a cotton liner. Right here, you see that little piece right there? That is a cotton liner on there. That is a cotton liner. Highly recommended. Cotton does not retain moisture. Cotton literally sucks up the moisture and it will eventually dry. Any fluids that is released from your body, such as discharge, will eventually dry. Yeast does grow in moist, warm, and dark places, so make sure you're wearing cotton underwear. Wash your underwear in the shower, then machine wash them. When you wash your underwear in the shower, you want to remove that discharge and then throw them in the washing machine. Discharge is very sticky, if that makes sense. It can be very sticky. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Like, yeah. This is a hot tip for me because a lot of people don't like this, but me personally, it is okay to go to sleep with no underwear. Like, you gotta let your girl breathe. She is tired of being trapped in that room. Your panties are the room. You want to make sure she breathes. It's okay to go to sleep without underwear, even if you are going to sleep in something loose fitted, like maybe a pair of boxers or some shorts or something. Like, you don't have to always go to sleep with panties on. I personally do not like going to sleep with panties on all the time, so you know, like, I personally recommend it. I feel like it's giving her a little bit of time to breathe throughout the night, and then when I wake up, shower, put on my panties, and start the day. What you eat plays a big role on your pH balance, your flora, the way you smell, the way your body reacts to things. You want to make sure you're drinking water, things without so much sugar. If you know me, I do drink a lot of cranberry juice and water. Also, I drink a lot of juice. I don't really drink soda as much. I don't drink soda as much anymore. Don't drink so much soda, girl. Like, I know they be like, eat your fruits and vegetables. Fruits that's not high in acid, yeah, I do recommend eating that. There's vegetables that will actually cause your pee to stink, like asparagus. Asparagus makes your pee stink. I don't know what it does in your body, but asparagus makes your pee stink. So if you don't want your pee to stink, avoid eating asparagus. Me personally, I really do like asparagus, but it's not like I'm eating it every day. So just make sure you're drinking your water, eating your fruits, not drinking so much soda and things like that, not eating all these cakes and donuts and stuff like that. Anything with all these sugars, they all get trapped into your pee. I'm not saying, you know, go fucking, you know, eat trees all day and freaking broccoli and kale and shit. I mean, if you want to do that, go ahead, but no, me, girl, I'm gonna eat me a burger, some wings with the garlic. Like, so yeah, I'm not telling you to change your whole entire eating habit, but I do recommend drinking way more water. There's people who actually does not drink water, and I feel like that is disgusting, especially boys or men. Y'all drink Hennessy and smoke weed all day and expect somebody to, girl, you're dirty. Now let's get into yeast infections. Yeast infections are so very common. Like, that does not mean they're dirty. It does not mean that they not taking care of themselves or whatever the case is. They are so common, it's very kind of hard for everyone to avoid. Actually, men, you can get a yeast infection too. So make sure, you know, y'all keeping up with yourselves as well. The symptoms for a yeast infection for a woman is a thicker discharge. It'll have like a cottage cheese texture. Some people don't have a thick discharge like that. It might just be more creamier. It might have a yellowish or a grayish tint to it. It can cause itching, burning, swelling of the vagina inside and out. It could burn when you pee, or during sex it might hurt, but it usually does not have an odor. The symptoms for a man having a yeast infection will be like your booty hole will itch, your balls will itch, the tip of your penis will itch, or the foreskin on your penis will itch if you're not circumcised. A lot of people, in both male and females, they might have a thick layer on their tongue, like a white layer on their tongue. Not very common. You can have yeast inside of your mouth. And for men, you also might have a hard time staying erect. You might have a hard time staying up, or it could be a little bit of a burning sensation when you pee. Yeah, that's how a man will know if they have a yeast infection. And a woman. Avoid wearing like tight fitting clothes, both men and female. I know there's men out here that be wearing some tight ass pants. If they don't fit, don't wear them. Don't wear them. Your boxers don't fit, don't wear them. Make sure you're cleaning. If you're not circumcised, make sure you're pulling back that foreskin and cleaning it. Avoid very hot baths, sitting in the bath for way too long. Yeast grows in warm, dark, wet, moist, whatever, wet areas. Just make sure it stays dry and clean. If you're sitting in a hot bath, you know, all that stuff, it's probably starting to grow because you're sitting there for way too long. When I say baths, I put tea tree oil and stuff like that. Tea tree oil is also one of the home remedies that you can use that I will talk about next. Also, avoid staying in wet clothes such as swimsuits and swim trunks for too long. Avoid having sex if you think you have a yeast infection. You can make it very much worse, or you can give that person a yeast infection. Even if you feel like you might not have it, if you have a sense that you have a yeast infection, avoid sex. Do not do it, girl, because it's just gonna make it fucking worse. Some natural ways that you can cure or lessen the effects of a yeast infection. You can use boric acid, vaginal suppositories, boric acid. You can insert it into the vagina, let that sit. It'll eventually get all that yeast, kill all the yeast and the bacteria in your body. You can use tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is a big one. You can use a carrier oil. This is the way that I think a lot of people use it. Carrier oil such as coconut oil, right? And some tea tree oil. Put a little bit of tea tree oil, a little bit of coconut oil, and just, you know, rub outside of the vagina. Do not put tea tree oil in your vagina. I think that's going to burn. I would not recommend it, so don't do it. Take your probiotics. If you are taking an antibiotic, you want to make sure you're taking probiotics with it, just to balance out, you know, the bacteria in your body. If you're taking an antibiotic, you want to take a probiotic. And I think women should take probiotics on a regular. These are the probiotics that I take. This is the Spring Valley Women's Probiotic. Natural Greek yogurt. So this was actually something that a friend was talking about. She said that Greek yogurt actually really does work. She had a yeast infection and she inserted natural Greek yogurt into her vagina and it cured her yeast infection. It might work, it might not work. Everybody's body is different. That was just another remedy that you can use. The last one is apple cider vinegar. You want to use apple cider vinegar. Me, I put apple cider vinegar inside of my bath sometimes. Now with BV, also known as bacterial vaginosis, also another very common infection in women, not really necessarily men. So the thing about this infection is that women can get it and men can't, but men can cause bacterial vaginosis. Let's say you're having unprotected sex. That right there can cause bacterial vaginosis. The change in your soap can cause bacterial vaginosis. Detergent that you use can cause bacterial vaginosis. So you want to make sure that you're being very cautious of things like that. Basically the same symptoms as a yeast infection will be the same symptoms of bacterial vaginosis, except bacterial vaginosis has an odor to it. So yeast infection didn't have too much of an odor unless you have both of them, which can happen. It can happen that you have a yeast infection and bacterial vaginosis. So bacterial vaginosis actually has an odor to it. If you ever experience something as a fishy smell, a sour kind of smell, like spoiled, if it's not an STD, it is bacterial vaginosis. I know that boric acid actually works. I know douching is not very good for you, but if you have to, do not use the actual things in the douche, okay? Get some room temperature water and a little capful of hydrogen peroxide and douche with it, and that can get rid of the smell and the scent and any type of irritation that you might have. But other than that, I just recommend that you go to a doctor Okay, you guys, so overall that will be the end of this video. If you like this video, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. So I think I'm gonna make this a series into Kicking It with Kay, where we just have regular ass talks, maybe a couple story times. So yeah, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon so you can get a notification every time I post a new video. Follow me on social media, which will be right here. Comment down below what other videos you want me to make, or what other topics you want me to talk about. If you haven't seen my video on this hair, go ahead and check it out. That will be linked in the description box down below. Until next time, bye.